Are we forcing anyone to believe in same-sex marriage?
By taxing them, yes. You're extorting them.
You don't have to believe it.
You'll just get taxed and extorted. Yes. And that's acceptable.
You're being uninclusive. I understand that has something to do with what you believe in. And you're allowed your own beliefs, but beliefs have consequences.
If a church is trying to tell people that they can't get married, then they're taking a political stance. And you're not tax exempt if you're a political entity, so it makes sense to me.
I think churches are kind of a drain on society as they are right now. You know, they get a free ride anyway.
Presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke, or some of you may know him as Robert Francis, has recently stated he wants to strip churches of their tax-exempt status if they don't support same-sex marriage. We're here in downtown Kent to see if people think that's progressive and inclusive. So, yesterday, Beto O'Rourke, do you know who he is?
Yeah, I know him.
Do you like him?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. That's awesome. So, he recently said, well, actually, it was yesterday, so it was very recent. He said he supports stripping churches of their tax-exempt status if they don't support same-sex marriages. Because we have to get everybody on the same side that gay people deserve to have every right that everybody else has.
Okay.
Do you think that's a progressive way to get to an inclusive society?
Yeah, I think that if a church is trying to tell people that they can't get married, then they're taking a political stance. And you're not tax exempt if you're a political entity, so it makes sense to me.
You think it's political, not religious?
No, human rights are not a religious issue. They're innate.
They're going to take away their tax-exempt status, and they're basically going to punish them for not believing in same-sex marriages. Do you think that's how we forward into a progressive society?
I need to eat more before I answer this as truthfully as I can. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think churches are kind of a drain on society as they are right now. You know, they get a free ride anyway. They're kind of at the whims to the government, really. I mean, to whatever policy changes we need to make for that. I personally think they should be open to LGBT.
I think it is ridiculous, but I do think churches should not be tax exempt.
Okay.
I live very close to one of the mega churches, and you look at it and you see how many people just from tax benefits could be benefited from the dollar amount that they're avoiding.
So specifically talking about removing that tax-exempt status and invoking taxes upon churches who don't support same-sex marriages, you would support that?
Hesitantly, yes.
Okay.
Not because I'm a church hater, not because I hate America, but...
Do you hate the First Amendment and the freedom of religion?
Absolutely not. That's not necessarily what I think it is either.
Okay.
Because isn't it their own right to marry whom they want?
Yes. Is it their right to force another person to believe something?
You don't have to perform an action to believe something, right?
Okay.
People go into work every day with jobs they hate, absolutely disgust. But you do it because you have to. You do it because it's your job. You signed up to do that. That is your responsibility. I understand that there is a line that is drawn between responsibility and being pushed too far, but this isn't harming people. You're not physically getting injured by this. It may not agree with your ideals, but there's people around the world and in your community, most likely even your neighbors, that don't have the same political ideals as you.
Should we tax them and take away their tax-exempt status if they don't support same-sex marriage?
I can't say for sure, but just off the top of my head, without eating any food, yes.
Okay.
I would say yes, yeah.
Do you think it's a slippery slope for the government to tax people based on their religious beliefs?
Well, it's not what they're taxing, it's what they're not taxing. So everyone gets taxed, and we've chosen to exempt churches for some reason.
Marriage is a union between two people. I understand that there is the aspect of, yes, let's get married in a church, let's do it in front of the eyes of God. If you want to do that, that's fine. Not everyone believes that. Some people want to get married in the church and they are LGBTQ and they do believe in Christ, and that's totally their own right.
The question at stake is it a slippery slope to get rid of that separation between church and state? Are we punishing people because of their First Amendment right are we forcing people to believe something that goes vehemently against their religion? Because you could be against same-sex marriages, but not hate gay people.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or is that too far to force them to pay money for their beliefs?
So, I wouldn't necessarily say that that's paying money for keeping your beliefs, because if you were paying money to keep your beliefs, that would mean that regardless of whether that church is open, regardless of whether they host same-sex marriages, you were still losing your tax-exempt status if you didn't believe, or if you did believe in Christ. That is what I would think paying for your religion is. As far as paying for not hosting same-sex marriage, that's ultimately a choice.
No, it's just not believing. It's not believing. So if a church says, this church right here, let's say United Methodist Church of Fultonham, Ohio, we don't believe in same-sex marriages. That's what this church, we're Christians, we don't believe in that. We're Methodists, we don't believe in that. Then the government would come in and say, because you don't believe in same-sex marriages, you don't believe in that, it goes against your religion, we're going to tax you. We're going to put more of a financial burden on you until you change your mind. And then when you start being more progressive and accepting of LGBTQ same-sex marriages, then you don't have to pay taxes anymore. That's what's going on. Is there a problem with that?
No. And I say no because LGBTQ people in America have been consistently and vehemently villainized, seen as wrong or disgusting for the ways that their sexual orientation and the way that they express themselves. You know, there's so many stigmas and stereotypes about gay women or gay men or bisexual men or, transsexual people, and those are all terrible.
You think it's terrible to... I mean, isn't it terrible to tax a whole church and a religion because of what they believe?
A religion. If you were taxing a religion, you would tax every Christian.
Christians do get taxed.
We do get taxed, but you can't have any progressivity without some sort. There has to be some sort of consequence for you not doing what is right.
Well, I think all churches need to be taxed.
Okay.
No matter what.
Why?
Because they're still part of the world. Everybody else gets taxed. They shouldn't be exempt.
Should charitable organizations be taxed too?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
What's the difference? Why are churches... Because they're considered charitable organizations as well. That's part of the reason why they're tax exempt.
I don't see a lot of churches always giving like people think they are. There's a few that are out there that do get... Oh, yeah, they do give... But I don't see a lot of them doing that as much as they should be. They keep a lot of that money.
Should mosques be taxed too?
Yes. If you're going to have a certain religious institution that's going to get taxed because they're excluding somebody, yes, other religious institutions need that as well. But there aren't, at least publicly, you don't see in the media very often mosques refusing LGBTQ marriages, at least in the terms of...
You can't walk into a woman can't walk into a mosque without the assistance of a man.
So that's not LGBTQ.
Should we tax them for that? They throw LGBTQ people off buildings in their countries. They're not welcome in their churches.
But that's not their country. That's where their religion originates from. That's not their country. They live here. They were born here.
Okay, that's not what I was talking about. But
I understand.
Okay.
I'm personally a Christian who supports gay people, but I can't be in everybody's home and tell them exactly what I believe, So, as if I mean, it'd be the same thing as if a church were to say, well, you can't support gay people anymore. I don't agree with them. I think eventually, hopefully, that mindset eventually starts ruling out, but I don't think you should punish someone for, in my opinion, having the wrong opinion, but it shouldn't be a punishable act.
Are we forcing anyone to believe in same-sex marriage?
By taxing them, yes. You're extorting them.
You don't have to believe it.
You'll just get taxed and extorted, and that's acceptable.
You're being uninclusive. I understand that has something to do with what you believe in. And you're allowed your own beliefs, but beliefs have consequences. I think that if you're going to do a tax, it has to be everybody. I think singling out anybody for any specific reason is wrong. Because if we're not all on the same playing field and we're not all playing the same game, then we can't start at the same time. We can't continue and progress if we're not all already on the same place.
What do you think about having an entire town hall dedicated to LGBTQ people?
I have nothing against them, but I just don't think it's necessary.
Why not?
I don't know. I think there's other things that are more important than that.
Like the economy and jobs and, right?
Yeah, sure.
So basically punishing churches for their religious beliefs.
Okay.
Do you think that is the way towards a progressive society?
No, I do not. No. I just don't think that's the right move at all.
That's what I don't understand. It's always like one-sided. They talk about tolerance, they talk about, oh, everybody's a free thinker, we're going to be tolerant of your views, but then when it comes up to your views, you can't have your own views. That's where I think that conundrum we're in, the hypocrisy, it's so ridiculous.
I feel like if you believe in something, it shouldn't determine like if they're going to tax you or not. I mean, it's your belief. If you believe in same-sex marriage, it shouldn't determine if you should get taxed. I think that's ridiculous.
Do you guys think that's the way we should go to have more equality in the country?
I don't think that's the way to go about it, but I do believe in same-sex marriages. Everyone should have their own equal right.
Okay, all right. Why don't you support taxing churches for their beliefs?
Because it's just religion.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's a community type of thing. They don't charge people for stuff.
I feel like honestly, like if churches aren't going to support it either way, so like what's the point of, I don't see the point of punishing them for something that they're not going to support either way. Mm-hmm. Rather they do support it or they don't support it. Like, I don't know, it just seems...
You don't think it would change your mind?
I don't think it would change anything, honestly.
As long as you want to keep church and state separate, then I say you just keep church and state separate.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'm not a religious person at all, and I don't go to church, but I do think you need to keep it separate. Okay. So I don't know, that's a touchy subject, I'm sure, for a lot of people.
And of course, you guys know the drill already. I don't have to tell you that I need your guys' support to be able to come out here and keep making these videos, interviewing people, just talking to everyday regular people who are going to protest. You can go to CaitlinBennett.org and check out weekly deals. We have a whole section of weekly deals that you guys can purchase products from. Supplements, masks for Halloween. You can be the Forbidden Man for Halloween. We have a mask of him, shirts, bumper stickers, books, everything. And the best part is that it supports me directly, and I will be forever grateful if you guys start going there and getting products from there.
InfoWarsStore.com and get your products. They're the best.
Don't forget.
Don't forget that.
Say it again.
I don't know.
InfoWars Store products. Just go there. Support Ferrari, baby.
If you guys like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell. If you want to support me so I can keep making videos just like this, visit InfoWarsStore.com where you can get great products like Brain Force, which gives me all the mental clarity I need to make these videos. Or take Turbo Force, which provides me with enough energy to make it through a long day of interviewing liberals. Not only are these products going to enhance your life, but they make sure I can continue bringing you all the content you love. Make sure you also join my Patreon at patreon.com/CaitlinBennett so I can hire security for when I attend rallies and do street interviews. If you sign up, not only will you be able to keep me safe from all these nasty Democrats, but you can receive cool perks such as shoutouts, autographed photos, and even have your name in the description of every single YouTube video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.